Well, we have plenty of freedom. In fact, we always have. There was nothing to stop us 100 years ago from setting up a small printing press and putting out a daily newspaper. Of course, you're not going to get anywhere unless you have substantial capital. One of the great newspaper critics pointed out that everyone is free to publish anything they like as long as they have, $20 million behind them. In those days, a lot more now. And the internet has vastly expanded this freedom. So yes, you, I, anybody can put up a blog and say anything they like. We can also, if we want to find out what the large majority of the world is thinking about, say, Libya, Iranian nuclear enrichment and so on, there are ways to do it. If you have a lot of energy, time, resources, and if you know what you're looking for. I mean, the internet offers huge amounts of information and disinformation and opinions and debates and so on, but it's like kind of wandering into the Library of Congress and saying, I'm going to become educated. It's not going to work. You have to know what you're looking for. You have to have a framework of understanding and analysis. And that comes from organized interaction with other people. It's very hard to develop it on one's own. I mean, in principle you can, but everyone, say, wander around this institution, science university. Students aren't trained to follow, to repeat what they learned in a lecture. They're expected to challenge, to question, to invent, and so on, but they do it in an organized manner. You walk down this hall, you'll see students talking to each other and working together. You work things out in communities of mutual concern, support, similar. Try out your ideas. They get reactions to them. In that kind of an environment, you can forge a reasonable way to approach the massive collection of factoids that you can get by walking into the internet or the Library of Congress. And that's what, in the past, for example, workers' education, which was quite a lively practice right into the 1930s, a lot of it coming out of the unions, that developed, that enabled people, isolated individuals, to interact, to to develop their ideas, their thinking, to try them out, and so on. Without that, if you approach the internet or, say, the Library of Congress as an atomized individual, so you're unlikely to get anything out of it. So those structures have to be there somewhere. Those are parts, basically, communities of interaction and support. Now, they don't necessarily lead you in a sensible direction. Like you could get off into some cult that way too, but those are the only options.